Bias. Bias, son of Tutames, a native of Priene, was the sage whom Satyrus preferred among the seven. Some say he was wealthy, though Durus says he was a foreigner. Demonicus says that he ransomed some young Messenian women who had been captured in war, raised them as his daughters, provided them with dowries, and sent them back to their fathers in Messenia. In time, as has been related, when the bronze tripod bearing the inscription "To the Wise Man" was found by fishermen at Athens, Satyrus says that the young women came forward to the assembly, though others, including Demonicus, say it was their father, recounted their story and declared that Bias was wise, and the tripod was sent off to him. And Bias, when he saw it, declared that Apollo was wise and would not accept it. But some say that he dedicated it to Heracles in Thebes, since he was a descendant of the Thebans who had established a colony at Priene. Demonicus says the same. It is said that when Aleates was besieging Priene, Bias fattened 2 mules and drove them into the camp, and that Aleates was amazed that the citizens' prosperity extended even to their beasts. Hoping to obtain a truce, he sent a messenger, but Bias, after he had piled up heaps of sand and placed a layer of wheat on the top, showed them to the man. And finally, on being informed of this, Aleates concluded a peace with the people of Priene. Shortly thereafter, when Aleates sent word inviting Bias to his court, Bias said, "I, in turn, invite Aleates to eat onions," that is, to weep. It is said that he was a formidable legal counselor, that he used his power of speech for a good end. It is to this that Demonicus of Leros is alluding when he says, "If you happen to be arguing a case, plead as they do at Priene." And Hipponax, better at pleading cases than Bias of Priene. He died in the following way. Late in life he had been pleading on behalf of some client. When he finished his speech, he leaned his head on his grandson's chest. Opposing counsel made his speech, and when the judges voted and issued a verdict in favor of the man Bias was representing, the court was dismissed, and Bias was found dead in his grandson's arms. The city gave him a magnificent funeral, and had these words inscribed on his tomb: "This stone conceals Bias, glorious Priene's native son, and the Ionians' great ornament." My own epitaph is, "Here lies Bias, whom Hermes guided calmly to Hades, the snow of old age upon his head, for he spoke, pleaded a case on behalf of a friend, then, inclining his head in his grandson's arms, he prolonged his long sleep." He wrote a poem of 2,000 lines about Ionia, explaining how its prosperity could be assured. Of his songs, the following is the most famous. "Please all the citizens in the city you inhabit, for this earns the most gratitude. But a stubborn manner often flashes forth with harmful mischief. The growth of strength is the work of nature, but the power to speak in aid of one's country belongs to soul and good sense. Abundant wealth comes to many merely by chance." He said that he is unfortunate who cannot bear misfortune, and that it is a disease of the soul to desire what is unattainable, and to be forgetful of the misfortunes of others. When asked what was difficult, he said, "To bear nobly a change for the worse." He was once on a voyage with impious men. When a storm overtook the ship, and even they called upon the gods, he said, "Be silent, lest they notice you aboard this ship." When asked by an impious man what piety was, he was silent, and when the man asked him the reason, he said, "I am silent because you ask about matters that do not concern you." When asked what is sweet to men, he said, "Hope." He said it was more agreeable to decide a dispute between two enemies than between two friends, for in the latter case one would be sure to make one of his friends an enemy, while in the former he would make one of his enemies a friend. When asked what activity gives a man pleasure, he said, making a profit. He said that men should measure life as if they were going to live both for a short and a long time, and to love their friends as if they would one day hate them, since the majority of men are bad. And he gave this advice: be slow to undertake any enterprise, but persevere steadfastly in whatever you undertake. Do not rush to speak, for that is a sign of madness. Love wisdom. As concerns the gods, say that they exist. If a man is unworthy, do not praise him because of his wealth. Prevail by persuasion, not by force. Attribute to the gods whatever good you do. Take wisdom as your provision from youth to old age, for it is more dependable than all other possessions. Bias is mentioned by Hipponax, as has been said, and the implacable Heracles praised him highly, writing, "In Priene lived Bias, son of Teutames, a man of more account than all the rest." And the people of Priene dedicated a sacred precinct to him, which is called the Teutameum. His maxim is, "Most men are bad."